This goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Your fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like things. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low. Just put a little dip with it. Now roll those hips with it. Pop it, push it, rock it, roll it. Can't control it, I come hold it. It's all in fun, so take a chance. Just get on the floor and do that dance, y'all. I know you like it, so don't try to fight it. Turn around, baby, let me see you from the back. Yeah, I like it like that. Get up now, roll those hips. Drop down, double up on those dips. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Back again with the second verse. It's all clean, so I'm not gonna curse. Drop a bass like a bad habit. Love all women, cause I gotta have it. Coming at y'all in stereo. I'm riding that thing like a rodeo. Hang on, baby, cause the ride is rough, and I got my girls in the front. Now and later, just bumping that rump. Raise it up, let me see that brown. Slap it, girl, make it jiggle around. Round and round that rump goes. Where it stop, yo, no one knows, yeah. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind.
Well, all right, y'all. All right, y'all. If you ain't dipping, you must be tripping. If you ain't doing it down low, got to go. Got to go. So the people that moving slow, just dance slow. Yo, DJ, pump it up some more.
It's off to the show in a limo. Before the show, I gotta get that dough. Pay them girls what they work. Slip that money under that skirt. Take it off, baby, let me see. You might get a little more Lucci. G-string, having oh so much fun. Playing inside between them buns. Shorty got it going on like Marvin. Teasing me and she know I'm starving. Lick you up, then lick you down. I ain't finished, girl, turn around. Lick you up and down your back, cause I'm that freak, I'm freaky like that. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. I'm setting it off to another level. You digging freak nasty without a shovel. This is my world, I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So what's up, yo DJ? When the party's getting slow, join this jam and watch that flow get taken over like a 94. When I had the whole world getting down low. New Orleans born, ATL living. Freak nasty is what I'm giving. My juice is sweet like Georgia peaches. Women suck it up like leeches. It feels so good, you must admit you like this. Shh, yeah, y'all know the song. So come on, won't you sing it? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip,
All right. How's everybody doing tonight? How we all doing? Chat says, where's Luke? I don't know. I sent him an invite. He's just running a little late, I think. It's fine. It's not a huge deal. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. It don't matter. None of this matters. So they put out a trailer for a new Green Lantern show on HBO Max, just called Lanterns, because we can't have color in the title, and apparently not in the show itself either, judging by the trailer. This was the still that really stuck out to me. The Green Lantern suit hanging in a closet. It's the Green Lantern suit, and it's brown. What the fuck? He's not even supposed to have a suit. He doesn't have a suit. The ring just makes the suit. Like, why? Why? Who the hell is like, yeah, green? This nothing screams Green Lantern like brown and gunmetal gray. Awesome, cool. And you hear like the people at the showrunners like, it's gonna be grounded. Nick, I don't want Green Lantern to be grounded. I don't want the space cop with the magic ring to be fucking grounded. Luke, how's it going?
I'm good. And what is that?
That's the Green Lantern suit in the new shows. Doesn't it scream Green Lantern to you?
I guess it does.
It looks like just a fucking like bomber jacket from a pilot that just happens to be a Green Lantern fan, so he bought a patch at Hot Topic.
It's kind of like the Chris Nolan Batman outfit. It's very practical and very useful, but not very dynamic.
By the way, enough time has passed. I'm growing to hate the Nolan Batman movies. I really am. Partly in large part because of their influence, but like Batman Begins is kind of boring. Yeah. I loved it when it first came out. Don't get me wrong. I was glazing it so hard when it first came out. I was like, oh yeah. But every subsequent watch since, I like it less. And here we are 20 plus years later, and I'm like, do you want to watch Batman Begins? I'm like, nah.
Yeah, well, let's just skip to The Dark Knight. That's the best one.
Dark Knight is amazing, but Dark Knight is amazing primarily because of Heath Ledger's Joker performance. It's so captivating. It's so amazing. Take that out of that movie, and you have something that's barely better than Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises is, I don't want to say good, but it's entertaining because of Tom Hardy's Bane performance for very opposite reasons. It's so goofy and so retarded that it's just like you can't help it. Or dropped at the darkness like this. Okay, cool. Chef's kiss. So like all in all, these don't like turn out to be a particularly good trilogy. And I just hate this like mentality of like we're just ashamed of the source material. We can't do anything cool. Like a perfect example, Anne Hathaway is Catwoman in that third movie. Anne Hathaway at like her peak hotness is Catwoman. So surely she's going to be running around. I would have had that bitch in the purple costume with the black boots, like just fucking giant bullwhip swinging around. I'd have gone all out because it's Anne Hathaway and I get to put her in a fucking Catwoman costume. If I was a director, you think like, fuck yeah. We'd be doing a lot of unnecessary photo shoots after hours. All right. I'm like, no, Anne, it's for promotional material. Trust me. Okay. But in the movie, she doesn't even call herself Catwoman. She never wears a Catwoman. The closest we get is she flips her little night vision goggles up at one point, and they kind of look like cat ears.
Yeah,
but barely. Like she's a fucking 19-year-old boy joining America First.
Oh, Beglov, in the movie, does she even call herself Selena Kyle?
She is Selena Kyle in the movie. She's not fucking Catwoman anywhere in that fucking movie. And it's like, why? It's like, what are you doing? I mean, you don't have to go full Tim Burton, like just absolutely air out your fetishes, but like put Anne Hathaway in a fucking Catwoman costume. Like, why would you not do that?
Let's see if I can find a good picture for her. Oh, there she is. Camera on. I hate.
Well, yeah, it's obviously better than Halle Berry's Catwoman, which is such a weird movie because it has nothing to do with Catwoman at all.
There she is.
Oh god, yeah, 90s. Oh, purple costume, 90s Catwoman. Oh, that is peak Catwoman. That is Catwoman like God intended. Right? All was right with we used to be a proper country, and it all went downhill when Selena Kyle stopped wearing her purple costume. Oh gosh. You know what? Forney reminded me of the Halle Berry Catwoman. Here's another thing that's kind of weird to think about. Halle Berry Catwoman and Joaquin Phoenix Joker are surprisingly alike.
Oh?
And what I mean by that is they are both so far removed from the source material that you pretty much could have changed the name and you wouldn't have owed DC Comics a cent. Now, one of those movies is pretty good. The other is The Joker. I'm just kidding. I actually like The Joker quite a bit. And Halle Berry's Catwoman is atrocious. I'm just fucking around. I'm honestly surprised. Like, if I was doing some big multiverse story at DC and it's just like a team of heroes from different realities or something, I would just throw her in just randomly in the background. Just why not? It's got to be floating around the multiverse somewhere. This weird fucking movie.
It would have to be. Unfortunately, DC would have to need like a multiverse equivalent for Deadpool, and then she would pop up for no reason.
Yeah, it would just be like it's some big event. It's like the Dark Side destroyed a bunch of universes, and here are the sole survivors of these universes or something. And just in the group is just Halle Berry's Catwoman, just immediately gets murdered in the big fight. Just completely out of her depth.
Right.
I've never actually seen it, by the way. I've only seen like bits and pieces. Like when it was in the theater, even at the time when comic book movies were kind of rare and I almost felt like I should see all of them, I was still like, I'm not seeing that one.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Halle Berry fan, to be honest. I never was, even at her peak. Like, she was okay in X-Men, like, I guess in those X-Men movies, like she's fine. The only movies I genuinely like her in, there's a movie called Gothica. It's like sort of a horror movie, psychological thriller type movie. I remember her being pretty good in that. I don't even remember a lot of details about that movie because it's been 20 plus years since I saw it, but I do remember her being good in that. And I remember her being really good in Swordfish. Swordfish fucking rules, by the way, if you haven't seen it. That's like it. Like she's the worst part of one of the worst Bond movies, probably the worst Bond movie. And they were going to give her character a spin-off movie after that. Like that's how much they just believed in her fucking dog shit character in that dog shit movie. I think it's still the worst Bond movie. I haven't seen The Last Daniel Craig though. I've heard that one's kind of bad, but I do think Die Another Day is the worst.
I never saw them either, but I've heard that they got progressively worse as they went on.
Daniel Craig's and his Bonds are kind of like Pierce Brosnan's, where they start off really strong and each one is like half as good as the last.
Yeah.
Like GoldenEye's amazing. GoldenEye is probably the greatest post Cold War Bond movie, period. Then the one where the bad guy was like the media mogul and it had Terry Hatcher in it, that one's pretty damn good. And then the one with like Denise Richards in it, it's not so good. It's got Denise Richards in it though, so it's okay. And then Die Another Day is just genuinely bad. Like Die Another Day is the kind of movie where it's like Bond movies are like superhero movies to me, where it's like I'm gonna enjoy them in the moment just for the decent parts of them. And I still didn't even sitting there watching Die Another Day. I'm like, this is bad. I will give Die Another Day a bit of credit though. Its opening sequence, the whole North Korea thing, top fucking shelf. Oddly enough, one of the best. But you know that little opening sequence that every Bond movie has, where it's like a 5-minute, almost mini movie before the movie.
He's on a previous mission. He's finishing it off,
and it kind of. It's like a small little movie that the main movie is a sequel to. That's every Bond movie's kind of formula. The little opening sequence of Die Another Day is so fucking good. The rest of the movie's dog shit. Also, the song, Madonna's song for this movie, top shelf Bond song. Got it. One of the best Bond songs for one of the worst movies. Oddly enough, I think the two worst Bond movies, Live and Let Live and Die Another Day, have the two best Bond songs. I really do.
But to go back to the Green Lantern, I haven't even seen the trailer yet. Like, what's the premise?
I didn't watch all the trailer either. I had read articles about the premise. It's Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and I think they're like retired from Green Lanterns or something. They're just, I don't know. jerking each other off. I don't know. Who cares? I don't care. God, it sucks too because Green Lantern's like my second favorite DC thing. Like, yeah, Batman's number one because he's fucking Batman. You know, and I'm a '90s kid. I was 9 when Batman the animated series hit. Of course, Batman's my favorite DC thing. He'll never not be. But Green Lantern is a close second. Like all that, especially that 2000s Green Lantern stuff when they brought Hal back. Jeff Jones and EVS was working on it. All the different lanterns at the different colored lanterns and shit. Like that's all top shelf. Blackest Night, best fucking DC event. Like, honest to God, best giant fucking DC event, in my opinion. I will even say it edges out Crisis on Infinite Earths. Top shelf shit with Blackest Night. Yeah, Green Lantern is my second favorite thing. And it's like Green Lantern has a movie that everyone hates that I don't think is nearly as bad as everyone says, but it certainly could be better. And now he has a show where we're just going to be afraid of the source material. And it's like, oh, God.
Yeah, so from what little I see from the trailer, it feels like a Western, like a cowboy Western or something.
I will say that the Green Lantern animated series came out shortly after the Ryan Reynolds movie. I think it only got 1 or 2 seasons. Good fucking cartoon. Not, by no means DC's best, and I would always prefer if we do 2D animation over 3D animation, which they did in that movie. It's still pretty damn good cartoon. I enjoyed it. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm rambling on about James Bond and Green Lantern because I don't want to talk about what's in the fucking news. God damn. Luke, you watched the Huckabee interview, right?
It's I hate everything about that interview. I hate everything about it.
God. Luke, before we get started, let's put cards on the table. What the fuck is you're a Christian like me. What is your end times beliefs?
I believe that all who believe in Christ are true Israel, and so the Israel we have is not the Israel. So, like, I don't believe in the general evangelical notion that Israel is essential for bringing about the end times.
Do you think there's going to be a rapture and then like tribulation, all that kind of stuff?
I mean, I currently think there is, but I'm not too tied to the idea.
Okay, so you're about where I am. I'm going to say agnostic when it comes to the end times. And I know that's almost a charged word when it comes to spiritual things, but I mean it in the pure sense. I don't know, man. The kind of left behind model, dispensationalism, I think is the official term.
Yeah,
let's call it the left behind model because that's what really fucking popularized it. Like in a big way. I kind of feel like that sort of lines up with scripture the most. Like that's the one where I'm like, sure, why not? You know what I mean? But even if Israel had to exist as an official nation state for the end times to happen, and even if this was the same country in a meaningful sense as the biblical Israel, wasn't the history of ancient Israel to constantly be chased out of their land and get it back over and over again? Yes. So if tomorrow Israel is pushed into the sea, would that be anything out of the ordinary? According to,
I mean, I've been following a lot of like other evangelical channels, and they point out the fact that the Bible says that Israel will be accursed when they walk away from God, and their name will always be a joke. In other words, it's only like Eric Cartman every 5 minutes.
Again, we're going to get into theology weeds before we get into that stuff. Here's the other thing. Israel is not the chosen people, biblically speaking, anymore. Jews are not the chosen people. God's people are the people that chose God. And then if you want to get really into the theological weeds, they're also the people that God chose before the foundations of the world, blah, blah, blah. Point is, God's people are those in Christ.
Amen.
And a bunch of people out in the Middle East who barely have Abrahamic fucking genetics in the first place because they were so interbred with Europeans before they came back to the Middle East, who won't draw a plus sign because it looks too much like a cross, are not God's people. I'm sorry to tell you that. Like, I don't have to be a theologian. I don't have to go to seminary to just know that maybe the people that won't draw a plus sign because it reminds them too much of Jesus are not God's people. I don't know. Like, that's just me. I don't believe I, as a Christian, owe anything to Israel. To some extent, you owe something to all of your fellow man. You know what I mean? But that goes out in concentric circles. I certainly owe my countrymen more than I owe Israel. I certainly owe other countries that have been better to my country more than I owe Israel. I don't owe them really a fucking thing in any meaningful fucking sense. I'm sorry. Oh, you have to bless them. No, the Bible doesn't say I have to give unlimited missiles to Benjamin Netanyahu. It doesn't say I have to pledge loyalty to the government that Jeffrey Epstein worked for. It doesn't say those things. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't even hint to those things. And the children of Abraham, according to Galatians, I believe it is, in there, are those in Christ. We are under a new covenant. If you've read the Bible, in the New Testament, there was this little 3-day weekend that went down, and it was a bit of a paradigm shift. Like, anything else is just not Christianity at this point. Like, I'm sorry. And these evangelical cucks will be like, well, God's not done with the Jewish people. And it's like, well, fair enough. God's not done with anybody that's drawing breath still. So there you go. Maybe they play some role in the fucking end times. Sure. This ain't the fucking end times right now. Certainly not according to their model, because none of us been raptured. So it ain't our concern one way or another. According to them, we're going to be gone. So it ain't our concern one way or another.
So is that the only? Oh yeah, is this going back to that memo that leaked about the military generals saying that our attack on Iran is God's will?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in our military that are insane and want to bring about the end times because they saw a Kirk Cameron movie.
Oh boy.
And that's not good. I'm sorry. I don't want that to be. We can't. That's not a tenable fucking situation. So cards on the table. I don't know exactly how the end times will play out, but even if the end times are going to play out like all of these dispensationalists say, and hey, fucking maybe, none of that means that in the here and now, we need to send our 19-year-old boys to go die for Israel. It doesn't mean that at all. Like, that's a big leap. Okay. All that, again, cards on the table. That's where I am. That's Luke's pretty much at the same spot there. This is a fucking mistake, what we're doing. This is stupid.
So you don't think there's any benefit?
Before.
So you think there's really no benefit to this whatsoever?
I don't see much any benefit. I mean, you could say Iran's our enemy, and fair enough, but like, they're our enemy because we're their enemy. And that's kind of always been the case, okay? They're in this fucked up, medieval fucking state of being run by religious fanatics because of what our CIA did, first of all. They were a very modern state prior to that. And again, like, it's like that line in the interview where he says, oh, the problem on the border of Lebanon. And Tucker goes, I don't have a problem on the border of Lebanon. I live in Maine. Yeah, I live in Lancaster County. Is there a problem on the border of Lebanon County that I'm unaware of? No, there's not. Okay. I don't like. Also, our ambassador said, which is probably causing all sorts of problems that we're not getting reported, that he would be fine with Israel taking the entirety of the Middle East. Now, I'm sure a lot of our actual allies in the region didn't fucking care for that.
No, I don't think they did.
I'm sorry. I don't see how this turns out any fucking better than Iraq at best. And yet, okay, I see all these people, and I get the rah-rah America stuff. Even though I'm pretty non-interventionist, I still was kind of like, yeah, the Maduro thing was kind of cool. Whatever. But like, okay, we destroyed Iran's navy today. We sunk one ship because that's all they had. But okay, fine. We're militarily superior to Iran. I didn't doubt that. Did anybody else? Like, I know we're militarily superior to Iran. Luke, there isn't a country on this planet that in conventional warfare we couldn't beat the fucking brakes off of. In fact, if we were really determined, maybe all of them at once. I kind of think maybe it's a long shot. I don't know. I feel like we could do it if we really fucking wanted to. But the point is, why? You can do it. Sure, no one doubted that you could. But that's not the point. We won the war, quote unquote, in Iraq in 6 weeks. We were there for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got thrown out by the government we installed.
Oh.
I think, oh, well, we can do it. Sure, we can beat the fucking brakes off anybody. Fucking yay. That's awesome. I'm glad that we can, but like, what does it do for anybody?
I mean, the more optimistic among us would say that, I mean, realistically, if you really wanted to go into war with the Middle East, what we should have done after 9/11 was invade Iran. At least that would have made more sense.
What we should have done after 9/11 was close our fucking borders. Period. Full stop. Okay, we do that, and then we don't have to take our shoes off at the fucking airport, and we don't have to have a Patriot Act and all that other shit. But then you remember, the Patriot Act was the point.
Yes.
So what are we getting at? There's 4 American soldiers dead at least right now. One of them was a 20-year-old boy. 20 years old. He didn't fucking exist when 9/11 happened. What did he die for? There's going to be a lot of gullible but patriotic fucking red-blooded fucking K-type God-fearing fucking Americans that are going to die for what? Or they're going to just sit in the fucking sand for however long being traumatized. For what? What is the point of this? What are we getting out of this? Well, we beat the shit out of a second world country. Barely second world. Awesome. Cool. I mean, I knew we could do that. Then what? Then what do you do? I guess, what are we going to are we going to just do the Greater Israel thing? Is that what we're doing now? My God, at this point, I'd let them do it if we could just leave afterwards. Pete Hegg said today, oh, we haven't begun to fight. I'm like, I know, nigga, that's the problem. And by the way, we could do this. Congratulations. We could take out the leader of Iran. It seems we can't get fucking Somalis that are scamming Americans off the street because some fucking female judge with a foreign name says no. But at least we can free the people of Iran, I guess. Awesome. Could we maybe use this awesome might of our federal government to make it so I don't have to press 1 for English anymore? Could we do that? Is that maybe a possibility? I don't know.
That'd be nice, but that'd be too convenient for us, though, because we don't want that stuff.
I don't see the point in any of this. Yeah, I don't. You know, we have, there's probably 20 million motherfuckers in this country that don't belong here. And I'm not even counting the legal ones that don't belong here when I say that. And yeah, we made progress and it's a net negative and that's cool. But like, not enough. What are we fucking around with this for? What does this do for us? Because it seems like we're doing it for somebody else. Oh, that's just an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. Marco Rubio said that. Well, we had to act because Israel dragged us into it. Cool.
Is that the official narrative of what's going on? I was kind of under the impression that America
I don't
was
know,
feeding
Luke.
this.
I don't know. I don't know that there is an official narrative. But I know that Marco Rubio said at one of these press conferences, yeah, we had to act because Israel dragged us into it.
Oh, yeah, where was that quotation?
Yeah, I know the story keeps changing. I've seen this before, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other thing I got to see online from some of these influencers? I guess Roseanne Barr talking about, well, we're doing this for women's rights in Iran. I'm like, cool, I guess. I don't really give a fuck about that, though, Roseanne. I'm not always convinced I'm on board with that here. So I don't know that I really want to put it to Iran. I'm sorry. I've been through this before. I saw this before. I saw 20 plus years ago. Fuck, I'm old. I saw a really stupid war that we got involved in that I might add actually strengthened Iran ultimately. And I saw a whole bunch of reasons thrown up, and it all just was like blustering and America. And you hate the terrorists, or you love the terrorists if you don't want to go to war. And I was like, okay, cool. That's awesome, man. I guess. Like, I can't even get that fucking upset about it at this point because it's like, I'm not trying to sound hysterical like it's the fucking end of the world. You know, like, God, there was some TRS faggot on Twitter today. One of those guys. I can't remember his name, but he used to do the like agreeing with liberals for the wrong reasons. He very famously like asked his girlfriend out, or he proposed to his fucking girlfriend on like a mountaintop, and then she said yes, but she cheated on him, and he fucking whined about it, and everyone laughed him off the internet for a while. And so he was on Twitter today, like, death to America. I pledge loyalty to fucking Iran. It's like, you're a grown ass man. Stop being fucking acting like a teenage girl about this shit. Okay. I'm not happy with my government either. But fuck Iran. I don't give a fuck about Iran. All right. You know, you're a fucking cuck. I don't think they want your help. All right. It'd be like, as by Allah, we will not be assisted by this faggot cuck.
What's a good one? No, we do not recognize you. No, by Allah, we do not recognize you. We do not want your help.
Yeah, we would rather lose. Even if you could save us, we refuse. The 56 Cuck Brigade, exactly, Chad. But like, that's hysterical nonsense. Like, I'm not fucking seething about it. It's just obviously a bad fucking idea. It doesn't serve anybody's fucking interest. We're doing it because of one particular country that has an undue fucking influence on us. You know, and it's like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of too many people in my government wave foreign fucking flags. And it's getting intolerable. All right. If it ain't fucking Israel, then it's a Palestinian flag or it's a Ukraine flag or whatever. And in any case, I want it shoved up their ass and them executed for treason. Mike Huckabee said things in that interview where I'm like, you should be executed for treason. A government official saying these things. Intolerable.
Oh, what was that one? I'm trying to think of one of the good comments that came out of that. I can't think of any though.
Like, you could say like Tucker's a fucking idiot, and sometimes he is, and he's way too blind on Muslims. Muslims aren't your friends. That's the other fucking thing. Everybody's got to be like, well, I hate Muslims, so I guess this fucking rabbi over here that calls me a goy is my buddy. Well, I hate Jews, so I guess this Muslim that wants to slit my throat is my buddy. How about neither of them are your fucking buddy?
And that's really annoys me with the whole conversation, because we can admit why can't we just admit both? Why we can admit that one particular country has undue influence on us, but we can also say that Muslims are dangerous theocratic monsters who will kill us. Like, why can't we just say that?
Yeah, I don't know. If one guy calls me a goy and the other guy calls me an infidel, I'm not inviting either one to the cookout. All right, like it's that simple. I don't have to pick a side in some conflict of some fucking sand people that have nothing to do with me. And I mean, you go. I guess the calling me an infidel is not as bad because they're not questioning my humanity, like calling me a goy. But who cares? Because he wants to slit my throat. Neither of them are my friend. I'm not going to sit here and have an academic discussion over which of my mortal enemies is slightly more evil. I'll let God sort them out. All right.
Indeed.
I just want them all out of my fucking country. I want them gone. I want to stop paying for their fucking missiles that they lob at each other. Apparently, Kuwait shot down one of our helicopters with missiles we paid for. Oh, we're sorry. It was an accident. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Might have had something to do with what our fucking Israel ambassador was running his mouth over the other week. But no, I voted against this. I voted against pointless fucking neocon wars. Like, enough. This, and it doesn't have to. We could easily get out of this. We could easily turn this around. It doesn't have to turn into another fucking Iraq or, God forbid, another fucking Nam. It doesn't have to. We don't have to spend years, possibly decades, throwing young men into the meat grinder. We don't have to do that.
And by all available information, it's not turning out to be that, but it could easily become that.
Yes, that's exactly what it could become. And I keep hearing rhetoric from people in charge that are like, well, we haven't begun to fight. And, you know, Trump had an interview where sometimes forever wars are okay. Like, no, they're not. It's not okay. And I just keep hearing from people that like should fucking know better. Was it that captive dreamer who's a fucking idiot on Twitter was like, oh, this is the millennials got one-shotted by George W. Bush and now they're against war. And I'm like, I guess. It's called learning from the past. Mind you, I was against it from the get-go. I never fell for it back in the day. I saw through that shit when I was 20. I'm certainly not gullible enough to, you know, I'm 43 next week. I'm certainly not gullible enough to see through it now or to not see through it now. But like, yeah, I guess a lot of them did learn. You know, even if you didn't serve, you probably knew someone that did, and he didn't come back better for it. When he says it's not going to be a forever war, that Iran is already crumbling. We defeated Iraq in 6 weeks. It's not a question of winning the war. Again, there's not a country in this world we couldn't beat the shit out of.
The real question is if we're still going to be there by next year.
Yeah, what is the point? What then? You know? My next door neighbor is an 80-year-old man, Luke. I guarantee you I could just kick his door in and kick the shit out of him right now if I wanted to. Beat the fucking brakes off of him. I don't think he'd stand a chance. Might not even get a single blow on me. But first of all, why would I do that? Second of all, what then? Like, it doesn't put me in a better situation at all. Quite the opposite.
Let's see. What else news is there on Iran? What's the first thing YouTube says? Trump emergency address. Thousands of Iraqi Kurds launch ground offensive. Iran. Oh, CNN with Iran drones cheap to produce, costly to defend against. So everyone's already on the wagon right now.
I don't see any point to this. And also the justification that Iran was some imminent threat. Motherfucker, they've been an imminent threat for 47 years. I don't think you know what the word imminent means. It's been 47 years. My entire life, they've been an imminent threat. And yet somehow never caused me any fucking hassle. I'm not trying to like sound hysterical. Maybe it all turns out great. Cool. I'd be happy to be wrong. And maybe it fizzles out. That's the one thing I'm hoping for. Because if there's one thing I've noticed about Trump, it's that he can get talked into these fucking dumb things. You know, early on in his first term, he got talked into the Syria strike, and that was stupid. It didn't serve any purpose. But then he quickly lost interest with it. Like, you can get him hyped up to like go fucking launch some missiles at people and shit. But then he very quickly seems to just get bored with it. Because his heart's not in it. And he's like, I don't want to do it no more. Whatever. I threw missiles at him. That's enough, right? I don't want to do this. This is stupid. Like, so that's kind of my hope. Like,
yeah, that is one of his better characteristics.
You can talk him into some dumb shit, but he's just very quickly like, hey, this is stupid. I don't want to do this no more. But I mean, the Syria thing I thought was stupid. I thought pointless and had the potential to get out of hand, but it didn't. He launched some missiles. He even called him first, I think. Like, hey, I'm going to launch some missiles at this. It's mostly just for show. But this very much has the potential to get out of hand. And by the way, Israel's already talking about Turkey and Lebanon now. If you give a mouse a cookie, I'm pretty sure, isn't Turkey in NATO? Aren't they like really our ally? Like more so on paper than Israel, that's for fuck sure. Frankly, more so in reality too. Yeah, I don't see a point to any of this. It could very easily spiral out of control and cost a lot of money and a lot of blood for nothing. There's already 4 soldiers dead. Like, why? Those are Americans. Like, this. I know they're in the military and that's what they signed up for and all, but like, don't take it lightly. I know you can march them off a cliff, but you're supposed to have a good reason to do it. Well, 40's been yelling that he wants in, so I'm going to send him an invite because he does not agree, and I'll let him on here to speak his piece. And then I'll get really mad and I'll join a pagan cult because he challenged me. That's what you're supposed to do, I think. That's how you handle those things. That's how an alpha handles those kind of things. So,
is it a gamma or a beta? What is it now? Sigma?
I'm a sigma. I'm going to go join a pagan cult. What we got here? Oh, Luke's playing a game.
Trying to get the settings right. What was that? It's basically gym game, Tetris game with Street Fighter characters.
Oh, cool.
I just figured out how to get the sounds working so I don't have to sound blasting in the background.
I did some spring cleaning. I recently dug out my my shoebox. Well, it's not really a shoebox. But my little white box full of Game Boy games and shit. I might play through some of them again. I got a Game Boy Advance, so that opened up like Game Boy Advance and Color and and Game Boy games. I also have a 3DS somewhere in there. But I got a shit ton of Game Boy games. You ever play Godzilla Domination on the GBA?
No. How is that?
So it's this little Godzilla game where you play as like 6 different monsters, and it's done in this kind of cartoon like sprite style, and it's like isometric, so you can kind of go up and down the city, you know.
Yep.
And you just in different cityscapes battle these monsters. There's that typical Godzilla game story where it's like aliens mind controlled all the monsters except the one you happen to pick, and you have to defeat them all, kind of thing. But it's pretty fun. The sprites are really stylized and adorable. They got each like level has this like goes to this reporter who's this little short-haired tomboy that that's always wearing a midriff, even in the ice level. All right. Chat said Godzilla and Domination, two of Beckloff's favorite things. I wasn't a big Godzilla fan for a while. I did a lot of research on Godzilla working on my book because I have a character that's a Godzilla fan in it, and I wanted things to sound authentic. And I kind of became a Godzilla fan doing that. I was like, wow, this is actually a little cooler than I thought it was. I'd only been like somewhat familiar. I wanted to do a Godzilla fan as a nerd because that's not a type of nerd I see like portrayed in media a lot. Like, and I've known a lot of Godzilla fans over the years, like more than you'd think. But every time you see nerds on like some Big Bang Theory shit, it's always like comic book geeks or like Star Trek or Star Wars fanboys. I guess occasionally you see a weeb. Ew. But like you never see the Godzilla nerd, and I've known like there's full on Godzilla conventions. Like it's way bigger fandom than people would think. Oh shit, Forney's backstage. I didn't realize. I was waiting on him like, where else? I got a bunch of tabs here, and Forney's tab is like down below. I got to scroll below. I didn't see it. There we go. There's How's it going, Forney? What is it? Are you calling us from Silent Hill?
Background noise? Oh fuck, that's the heater. Let me shut that off. How do I shut this fucking thing off?
I'm just hearing the souls of the dam back there. I like the little chibi sprites in this game.
It was fun.
I seem to remember there was a fighting game that had these kind of sprites, like the chibi style.
Which one was that?
Pocket Fighter, that was the name of the game. There's a Godzilla Ninja Turtles crossover comic going on right now. It's pretty good. IDW's been doing great stuff with Ninja Turtles. Has been for about, good God, like 15 years now. Oh, did you see the posters for that Stranger Things cartoon they're doing?
No, I should look that up.
There's some new character that like looks just like ass. It looks like some DeviantArt fucking like I don't know, man. It honestly makes me sad how bad Stranger Things like fucked itself in the ass. Like that started off so strong. And like by season 3 and 4, it was a little rough, but you're like, maybe they're gonna bring it all together. And then season 5 was just a fucking dumpster fire.
Indeed.
Like season 5 makes me dislike 3 and 4 retroactively.
Oh, is this still on?
I could kind of hear you a little bit there, Forney, but like barely.
What the fuck is going on
You
here?
sound like underwater now.
Oh, shit.
He's taking a bath while he's Forney live from the bathtub. The TRS guys got to him.
Oh boy.
They took Forney out for Allah. That was so stupid. I couldn't believe that. That guy's post got taken down too for like violating terms of service or something. I guess I don't know.
Is this how it goes?
A little better, but still rough.
I mean, he was good like a minute when he first tried it again.
Yeah, I
So
could hear
whatever.
Forney okay. There was just a lot of background noise when he started. And now it sounds like his mic's underwater. Chat says Oni Press is about to lose Rick and Morty. I guess, yeah. I forgot there was still Rick and Morty comics going on. Rick and Morty's hype is pretty gone, though. I mean, like, I don't even hate Rick and Morty at this point, but I haven't watched a new episode in. I mean, I'm probably at least a season and a half behind. I honestly, I don't think we talked about this since last time, but Smiling Friends announced that they were just going to call it quits after the 2
Oh
seasons.
yeah.
And I think there's like a couple episodes that got to release still. And
It's probably a wise idea for them to do that, though.
Well, see, this is the thing. I understand the reasoning. No one wants to be the Simpsons. You know what I mean? No, like I think Family Guy is still funny. I really do. But Family Guy never really had much heart to lose. It was all about just gags. You know what I mean? For better or
Yeah.
worse. South Park, I don't think is funny and hasn't been in about 10 years. Like, really, since Trump came on the scene. But it is still Matt and Trey. It's still their voice, for better or worse. It's not the ship of Theseus, which is the Simpsons writing room. But Simpsons is just nothing. It's just a zombie shell of itself, and nobody wants to be that. That said, though, I feel like that's going to get inspire a lot of people to just like jump ship too soon. Like this was too soon to pull the plug on Smiling Friends. They had not peaked. I don't think they were close to peaking. I think they had at least 2 seasons in them before they even reached the peak. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the zombie Simpsons phenomenon is going to inspire a lot of people to probably pull the plug too soon. Which, that's just how life is. The pendulum swings one way and then it swings the other, I guess,
I guess they want to just
balance is just something that eludes us.
Yeah, there's a quotation. I don't know who first said it, but the star that shines brightest is all the more glorious for its brevity, and they just want to cut it down when they're still good.
Yeah, I get why they did it. Honestly, it was a great show. I'm gonna miss it. It was one of the best things Adult Swim ever did. Like, I would put it up with like Rick and Morty at its peak easily. I would put it with like even Aqua Teen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like peak Aqua Teen's probably Adult Swim at its peak, and I think Smiling Friends is probably on there. Open chat. What am I? Open chat.
I guess Matt Forney's
Okay,
here
Matt's
now. I
in
guess
Matt's in the studio chat apparently.
Can you hear me?
There you are.
Clear.
Yeah, we can hear you
There.
good now.
I didn't. I'm on my phone again. Hopefully this fucking works.
Yeah, you sound good now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, to counterpoint your whole thing about the war in Iran, there's a whole bunch of good reasons why we should do it, but it ultimately stems down to China. Same reason why we're going after Venezuela. Trump is cutting all of China's supply lines, particularly their supply of oil, which they have no oil reserves of their own. You need oil to have a functioning military. They've been getting it via shadow tankers from Venezuela and Iran at below market rates. There's something very big that happened as a result of the war a couple days ago. Lloyd's of London, which for over a century has had a monopoly on international shipping insurance. Like if you're shipping anything across the ocean, you went and got an insurance policy from Lloyd's of London. Well, they announced that due to the war, they will no longer be insuring any shipping coming out of the Persian Gulf. So Trump stepped in. Trump stepped in and said, "Oh, we'll insure those instead," which means basically, among other beneficial things, any oil headed for China from Iran is going to be insured by the U.S. government. We're going to be profiting off of it, and we're going to be forcing them to pay market rates, and we can shut it off whenever we want. Cumulatively, China gets about 20% of its oil from Venezuela and Iran. It's like, well, it's only 20%. If you lost 20% of a non-fungible resource, if you lose 20% of a non-fungible resources, that's apocalyptic. That has an apocalyptic effect on prices. This directly cripples China's ability to threaten us, threaten Taiwan. You know, they've got all kinds of spies in our agencies, which the government has been rooting out. There's a story every other fucking week about how some Chinese national in the military or whatever is going to prison for treason because they were selling secrets to China. It all comes down to that. There are a bunch of other good reasons, you know, not related to Israel that we're taking out Iran right now. But that's the central motivation.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then, Matt. Why am I not hearing this from the administration? Because all I'm hearing from the proponents of the Iran war right now are fucking boogeyman stories about how the Iranians are going to come into my house and fuck my girlfriend. Or we have to do it because the Bible said to help Israel. That's all I'm hearing from the pro-Iranian people is that, and then sometimes I hear about how Iranian women's rights and they are mean to gays and stuff like that. Like, that's all I'm hearing for the pro-war. Like, these are reasonable fucking things that I would hope would get accomplished. Fuck China. But that's not what I'm hearing from the people that are trying to sell this to me on the TV box and on my phone.
Because they're idiots. I mean, were you ever going to expect to get an honest take on foreign policy from someone like Ben Shapiro? Like, no, I don't give a fuck what he thinks. But this is what's going on.
I do give a fuck what he thinks in the sense that I usually kind of go the opposite direction. Like, not always, but it's just Ben Shapiro. Like, if Ben Shapiro says the sky is blue, I'm going to go out to check to make sure.
Sure.
Okay, true. But like, in terms of them, like, you know, I'm not getting my foreign policy analysis from talking heads. I'm getting it from crazy anons on Twitter who possibly have 1488 in their title in their handles. But yeah, another reason to go after Iran is that they're deeply entwined with the Democrats. Like, this is to all the people who are like, why is Trump so obsessed with foreign policy? Why isn't he focusing on domestic policy? Because it's all one thing. Like, we live in a society, a global society. Let's go back to Venezuela. Remember when a certain thing happened in 2020? A certain election may have been stolen? Remember a company called Smart... Remember a company called Smartmatic that manufactures election machines that were involved in this controversy? Where's Smartmatic based? It's based in Venezuela. There's been an open slush fund operation between the Democrats and all these leftist groups. There was a good article by Ben Braddock about a couple of weeks ago talking about all this is being orchestrated in the Western Hemisphere, at least by Cuba. Cuba has extensive security and intelligence penetration in all the Latin American countries, including here. He gave an example of like a lot of these pro-Palestinian protesters were trained by Cubans. A lot of now elected Democratic politicians in the 70s and 80s went to Cuba to get training on how to be activists. including, for example, Karen Bass, the current mayor of L.A. She was in Cuba training with the Cubans. Trump has been severing all these international connections between the left, the international left, and the domestic left, so that he could crush the domestic left. The first thing he did was getting rid of USAID, because USAID was the primary slush fund by which this operated. You notice that why it's all one thing. The funds that Obama gave Iran, the much vaunted nuclear deal, that was payment for services rendered. They're deeply entwined with Iran. There's evidence they're putting out that Iran was behind the assassination attempt on Trump 2 years ago. You cannot deal with the domestic enemies without dealing with the foreign enemies that they're closely working with.
So I don't really think that Democrats are strongly against this. At least it doesn't seem that way to me. The progressives, sure, but like progressives say a lot of things that the Democrats don't actually have any intention of doing. Chuck Schumer doesn't seem to be against this war with Iran. MSNBC seems to be okay with it. Gavin Newsom did come out, but Gavin Newsom is also trying desperately to salvage his fucking political career. And if there's one thing I noticed, it's the people that aren't in power like to at least say they're anti-war. Obama ran on being anti-war. He sure as hell didn't govern that way, but that's how he ran. And it was a major factor in getting him elected, perhaps the single biggest one.
The single biggest factor in getting him elected was the economy, but I get what you're saying.
That was probably it. That was a major one too, but there was a huge oh my God, someone's finally going to end these wars that are pointless and stuff. That was a big thing. Now, he didn't do that. He didn't even fucking attempt. He was lying about that. A lot of politicians like to run on, hey, these wars are stupid. We're not. George W. Bush famously ran on, hey, let's stop it with the nation building and let's focus on our own issues. Ironic as fuck. Yeah, there's nothing funnier than watching 2004 and 2000 George W. Bush debate.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know that they are. This seems to be almost. This seems like something the thrust of our government has wanted to mess with for coming on 50 years now, and I'm just not sure. I mean, honestly, Hillary Clinton ran in 2016, I think it was. When it might have been 2008, but she's like, I'll tell you, I'm going into Iran when I'm elected. I don't know that the Democrats are against this.
I guarantee you that was 2008 because 2016, we had the nuclear deal.
It could have been 2008. I don't, her shit blurs together with me. The only one I specifically remember was 2008 was when she was talking about, well, maybe someone will assassinate Obama. That was hilarious. She's on fucking just TV. She's like, well, I'm not going to drop out because maybe someone will shoot this darky. I'm not kidding.
Geez.
Do you remember that? She was on.
Oh, yeah. I very clearly remember it.
Well, remember, Bobby Kennedy got assassinated, so I don't know. I might get lucky.
Jeez.
She said that. She's like, oh, not the get lucky part, but she was like, well, a lot of things can happen. Remember Bobby Kennedy? And it's like, okay. Damn.
What are you saying there, Miss
Hillary?
I think at least some of the Democrats sort of kind of coming out with in favor of Trump's war is solely because their poll numbers are collapsing on this front. This is incredibly popular. I have to keep reminding people the Iraq war was very popular up until about 2006.
Iraq war was very popular early on. There was a handful of liberals and libertarians that criticized it. But that's the other thing. We as Americans, we don't have the stomach for this long-term shit. We like to go in and beat the shit out of somebody, but we don't want to just be there forever.
That's why I'm saying
the problem is the military apparatus wants to be there forever. There's just an element of our government that's like they just want this. The military-industrial complex. I know it's cliched to say, but they just want this shit to just perpetually go on.
I mean, I agree with you, but I think Trump has those people pretty well restrained. I mean, consider what he did in Venezuela. We just snatched Maduro out in the dead of night. We bombed Hugo Chavez's mausoleum out of pure spite, which I think is hilarious. I think Trump may be the biggest hater to ever become president. I can guarantee you that General Dynamics and Lockheed and Northrop Grumman were pissed as fuck that they didn't that there was no opportunity for them to get defense contracts to rebuild Caracas after the military leveled it. I think the same thing is going on here in Iran. Well, there's a big difference between how we're fighting this war and how the Iraq War was fought because it was incompetent. We didn't take out Saddam on day one of the Iraq War. We didn't have the capability to do that. We didn't have the technology that we have now. The operation in Venezuela was done using Anthropic's Claude AI. We have the ability, the war literally began with half the Iranian top leadership just getting splattered because we know where they are at all times. We have a decisive AI advantage over them. We have an advantage in terms of material. I don't believe, I believe Trump is telling the truth when he say we're not going to have boots on the ground because we don't need them. And increasingly, it looks like all of Iran's neighbors are going to do that for us now. There's rumors that the Kurds are moving in from Iraq. There's the Azeri military. Azerbaijan is massing their military on the Iranian border. All the Gulf Arab states, Kuwait, Qatar are all involved in this. And the goal is not to, I believe, Trump doesn't care about regime change. The goal is to get Iran to not get the fuck off. He'll be just as happy if, after pummeling them for a while, one of their generals is like, okay, fine, call a flag of truce. And it'll be like, okay, don't do this, this, and this. And he agrees, and Trump agrees, and we just fuck off. Because that's basically what he did in Venezuela. He got Maduro, but he didn't replace the entire friggin' government. His vice president just moved up to assume the presidency, and she's working with Trump. It's basically a situation of they're shit scared of losing their jobs, so they decided that working with Trump is preferable to not working with him and possibly ending up in prison or as a red stain on the carpet.
Well, the Maduro thing, I said on here right after that, I'm like, look, I don't particularly know that this was anything I said, I don't know if it's a good idea because regime change can go bad. That said, though, people that called it a war crime, I'm like, going after the leader to me is the least war crime thing you can do. In fact, I think the world would be a lot more peaceful place if going after the leader was the standard of how you fight a war. Like, if the standard of how you fight a war was, hey, if I start a war, it's not going to be some 19-year-olds dying off somewhere else like the fucking Hunger Games. It's going to possibly be me. That would probably put a stop to a lot of shit across the world.
That's the key difference between what's going on now and what happened in Iraq. The Iraq War was stupid in part because, like you said, it turned into a prolonged guerrilla struggle with guerrillas. Back then, there was no politically acceptable way to deal with an insurgency. Now, there is a very effective way to deal with insurgency: just bomb and kill every civilian you come across. But we can't do that. Okay, we're not the Romans. We're not Victorian Britain. You can't go. You can't invade a country claiming you want to bring them freedom and democracy, and then just start killing civilians indiscriminately, hoping to get the guerrillas. That was a no-win situation.
The problem is even that doesn't always work. I mean, like Afghanistan, everyone shits on Biden for how Afghanistan turned out, and he made it worse. But that was almost destined to end that way from the get-go. I mean, they chased out the Romans and the Soviets and the British, and none of them showed a great deal of restraint. Like, that was they call that one the graveyard of empires for a reason. We were destined to get chased out of there eventually.
That wasn't. I mean, that's an entirely separate topic. But the point I'm making is that like with AI and these satellite imagery and the sheer amount of intelligence penetration we have, like the whole. I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently the claim was that the IDF had hacked every single traffic camera in Tehran. so they could just track where the people in the government were going all the time. And it's like, okay, maybe they're BSing, but given the way the Iranians behave, I can buy it. The average IQ of Iran is 80. They're not smart people. But what we're doing now is like we're taking out the leadership through precision strikes. We're not carpet bombing entire cities. We're not sending in soldiers to shoot Iranian civilians. And they have no real effective way to strike back. Like, they were lobbing missiles at, Dubai and whatnot. But the most they could do is just, hit a few buildings. We evacuated our personnel from those bases. So, and that's the other thing with the death toll. In the first week of the Iraq War, about 50 American soldiers died. We're not even a week into the Iran War, and like you said, 4 soldiers. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh well, fuck them. I mean, it's a tragedy, but like we're doing pretty well on that score, I think. If only 4 people died, but. The Iranians are running out of missiles. They're more importantly running out of launchers for those missiles because every time they fire one, it lights up like a Christmas tree on the radar, and then either we or the IDF can blow it up. Like, it's a complete... I mean, like, I agree that there are many ways that this could go wrong, but I don't see that happening at this moment. And Trump, Trump famously 10 years ago when he was running, he said the Iraq War was stupid. It was a mistake. I think he's cognizant of that. And I think the people running this are cognizant of it as well. They know that a forever war is going to be not only politically disastrous, but disastrous for the country as a whole. And they're going to avoid it.
Well, like I said, I would hope so. But the reality is that the machine of the military for decades now has been just almost designed to drag us into that kind of shit. We have this, again, military industrial complex that constantly wants to be doing this shit. The reason so many of the military leaders were against Trump early on, and hopefully most of them are gone, were because he didn't want to just have a perpetual fucking war for no reason.
He's already replaced a significant amount of the brass in his first year in office.
But yeah, and people that are like, oh, Iran's going to beat us. I'm like, I was never thinking that. Like, no. As I said earlier in here, there isn't a country on this planet we couldn't beat the shit out of in conventional warfare. Like, just, there isn't. Like, full stop. Again, conventional warfare, I kind of feel like we could take them all at once. If we really had the desire to do so. But just because you can doesn't mean
we're probably going to move on Cuba very soon. As I put it on Twitter, unlike Hitler, Trump can fight a war on multiple fronts. But no. I mean, I'm a bit trolling on Twitter, but I think this is a good thing. I agree that it could go wrong, but so far, like, I have confidence in Trump. Okay, I have confidence in to give an example, the whole situation with the Houthis in Yemen about a year ago. Trump was trying to take care of them. It wasn't going too well, so he just kind of pulled out. So it kind of goes to your point of Trump basically knowing when to disengage from a military action when either the mission is accomplished or it's not going well.
Yeah, I think he also can get talked into some stuff, and he then was like, no, this isn't what I really wanted to do. So, I made a point, I declared victory, and I left. I think they talked him into lobby. The first time he did this was Syria. I think they talked him into lobbying some missiles there. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll show him. And then they were like, now send in troops or whatever the hell Wormwood was trying to whisper in his ear. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. That's gay.
I mean, he did send in some troops, but he spent them in to guard the oil wells in Syria, which is actually something he campaigned on, if you recall. In 2016, he was like, well, one of his big criticisms of the Iraq War was like, we invaded this country and we didn't get any of the fucking oil. And he said, like, if we're going to be involved in Syria, we should get the fucking oil. You can disagree with that logic, but at least it makes sense. At least we're getting something out of it in that case.
Yeah, I agree with that. Again, I mean, this is part of why I voted for Trump. I voted for him 3 times, you know, and I don't think that any of this shit is costing him the midterm or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen with the midterm, but like even areas where Trump's vulnerable, Democrats don't have a leg to stand on. You know, you can criticize Trump for how he handled the Epstein stuff, but Democrats are in that deeper than the Republicans. You know, you could criticize this Iran shit, but only a handful of progressives are even taking a stance against that.
Well, like the main thing that would harm him is the economy, but the economy is on an upswing. I mean, it's not like improving as quickly as it could, but the economy is doing better than it was 2 years ago. I don't think this will affect him. I mean, if in 2 weeks he comes back with a triumphant victory, like he's got the midterm set. Like, it's worth pointing out that the only time in recent memory where the party that controlled the presidency gained seats in a midterm was in 2002, a year after 9/11, and when the Afghanistan war was going well. Americans love. No one is really truly anti-war. Like aside from some libtards and some libertarians and some lowbirds, Americans are against losing wars. If you win a war, Americans will love you.
Like I said, I don't think the midterms will go particularly badly. I don't know though. A lot of it'll come down to individual races. I know Crenshaw lost his seat. He lost his primary.
Oh yeah, Zyklop's got sent back to his cave.
God, fuck that guy so much. That Crenshaw truly is everything wrong with the Republican Party in just one package.
Yeah, a lot of good things happened in Texas yesterday. It looks like, there's going to be a runoff next month, but it looks like John Cornyn, one of the worst cucks in the Senate, is going to lose his seat. The Democrats are very, very unlikely to win that because, well, it's fucking Texas. In the 23rd House District, if you recall, Tony Gonzalez, who's in the news because he banged one of his staffers, and then a year later, after her marriage fell apart, she lit herself on fire. He's also
I don't remember
another. He's another cuck too. He's probably going to lose his primary to Brandon Herrera, the YouTuber who does shit with guns.
Oh shit!
Wow.
I know Jasmine, whatever the hell her name is, she lost, which I was kind of sad about because she's funny. I'm gonna miss her.
Yes,
it's just another Democrat replacing her. So.
It's a great victory for us Jim Crow Democrats.
James Talarico, this proud ebony queen with some white boy.
James Talarico, he's going to put the jigaboos back in the zoo.
I kind of liked her for one thing. I like people right or left that will just go off fucking half-cocked, unhinged. Like, I really wish there was more of that in the House, of just people that were just more unhinged.
Well, the thing is,
you never quite know what they're doing next. I love that.
Well, the thing with Crockett is like it's all a performance. Like she's a college educated. She probably had to hire a voice coach to learn how to talk in Ebonics. Like how George W. Bush had to hire a voice coach so he wouldn't lose his Texan accent.
But still, she was funny. I miss her. She was funny. Like just hilarious clips from that bitch.
I mean, knowing someone like her, she's not really going to go away. I mean, she won't be in Congress anymore, but she'll be on MSNBC or something.
For Senate.
What?
She said she wants to run for Senate.
That's what she ran for and lost.
No, I thought she was. Oh, that's right. She was. This was the primary for Senate. I'm sorry. I thought she was still doing her House thing.
No. She's leaving the House because, in virtually all states, you cannot run for.
Oh, she got gerrymandered out. That's why she's leaving the House. I forgot. She's leaving the House because her district got gerrymandered away or ungerrymandered or whatever.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, awesome. We should be doing that more. I will make this pledge, though. If Jasmine Crockett ends up running against Ted Cruz in Senate, if that were to happen, right? because I know she wouldn't have been running against him anyway. She would have been running against the other one. If she tries again in a couple years and she's running against Ted Cruz, I'm going to donate money to her campaign because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm going to make that pledge, and she wouldn't happen, and she wouldn't win anyways. But let me put it this way: if she would outseat Ted Cruz and it wouldn't affect the balance of power in the Senate, I would actually just completely support it because that would be hilarious.
I mean, that's 4 years away.
Than Ted Cruz losing his seat to that Reginald.
Well, I mean, that's 4 years away. I mean, that's gonna be a while.
Well, maybe it's you got time, sweetie. Build your war chest. Go get him. That would be funny. That's the whole reason. By the way, I get Democrat, like when they're all begging for money, I get the Democrats too because a couple years ago, oh good God, probably close to 10 years ago, Steny Hoyer had some fat fucking black chick running against him. This ratchet ghetto trash that like proudly had 3 abortions under her name and a criminal record. And she was trying to outseat Steny Hoyer. And I donated $1 to her like on the air because I was like, that would be hilarious. Some old DNC fossil lost to some ratchet fucking Shenene Shabubu Jackson. Is Steny Hoyer still alive? Luke, look that up.
Oh
Steny
yeah,
Hoyer?
he's still in the House, but like after the Democrats lost in 2022, he and Nancy Pelosi both stepped down.
I was gonna say because
I mean they're still in the House, but they're not in the leadership.
I was a kid. I remember hearing his name on the news when I grew up in Maryland when I was a kid.
There he is.
Well, there's going to be plenty more ratchet black chicks running for office, so you'll have your pick. I mean, I'm calling it right now. Kamala Harris.
An old corrupt fossil like him lose his job to one. That would just be hilarious because it's a Democrat seat either way. So make it entertaining. That's all I'm saying. I want our House to be more like the British colonies. I want them just yelling at each other all the time.
That'd be
just
fun.
like Taiwanese Parliament.
We should have like the Irish Parliament where they just they're just fist fighting in the aisles.
Here is what I think would help America greatly, Matt. I want our House, not the Senate. I want the Senate to be a little bit more decorum. I want our House, ideally, every red district would have like a guy named Kyle with a Monster Energy drink hat who used to drive a fork truck. And every blue district would have like Shenene Shabubu Jackson, who used to be a shift manager at a Popeyes. And that's the whole House. That is the whole House. And you know what? I think things would be better. I think when bills do get passed, they probably might actually serve some of the people.
Why? Possibly.
Nobody waving foreign flags in their fucking office. That'd be great. Like just I want everybody in the House to be ridiculous. I want there to be a guy in the House from like fucking Tennessee whose accent is so thick no one knows what the fuck he's saying.
Return to tradition, like when that senator got caned for making an anti-slavery speech.
I want a representative from San Francisco who's just a flaming queer with a puppy mask. And I want one from Georgia that's just a guy from the Klan. I want ones from Florida and wife beater t-shirts. The whole 9 yards. I want the House to represent America. just screaming at each other all the time.
You want a representative from Brooklyn who's like an art chick in her 30s who talks about how much she squirts during sex.
Yes. I want a guy from New Jersey that just looks like Carl from Aqua Teen and sounds like Carl from Aqua Teen. I want a guy from Maryland that's just breaking crab legs on the floor, eating them. I want absolute
Oh,
chaos
Christ.
in the house.
Oh, Christ.
I want the house to be for the people again. I want the house to look like that, and then I want the Senate to go back to being picked by state governments.
Oh, I unironically
I want
support
the
that.
house as close to the people as possible, and the Senate to be the elites. That's what I want. All right. Well, we've been going on for about an hour and a half, folks. I'm going to check, see if we got any donations. And
Before you do, can you turn on my
donation-
screen?
hang on. We got there. Oh, he's playing Metal Slug. Cool. It's how the Iran war is going right now. Let's check our donations, because your donations were promised to me 3,000 years ago. And looks like I didn't get any fucking anti-Semites.
Yeah. I was gonna. Fuck! I completely forgot to post this on Twitter.
So, folks, if you enjoy the show, do consider supporting the show. Streamlabs.com/thebeckloff. PayPal.me/thebeckloff. And that is about it for tonight, folks. I want to thank everybody for watching. Beckloff out.